Hey guys, it's HeySofia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 25 different aquarium, fish tank and pond designs that you can build in Minecraft. So I've come up with all of these designs today. Some are really good for aquariums, some are really good for in the home, some are good for in your gardens, and some are even really good as furniture. I have built this in the 1.13 snapshot, so not everything is final while I'm building this. Things may still change, it may be a little bit jumpy here and there while I'm filming, hopefully not, but let's get started. So my first design that I have come up with today is a featured aquarium for a hallway. Now I think this is a really cool design if you're not really big into artwork and you're just wanting something a little bit extra in your home, especially if you've got some space in between walls or anything like that and you just want something to fill the area. An aquarium could be a really great way to bring a little bit more life into your home. This design would also be really good for aquariums. You could have a really long hallway and then all of them running down the side. My second design today is one that is based around a 1-block aquarium but having to build it in 4. So unfortunately, like aquariums in real life, if you have a fish just in a bowl, theoretically it would take up 1 space, but you can't really do that in Minecraft. So I've built this corner tank with 1 little water bit in the corner there for our fish. To give it a curved look, I put a glass pane in between my 2 glass blocks there. I've also got some birch trapdoors on top. Now, you don't have to do this design if you don't like it. I think this would be really good if you're building kids' rooms or you're just wanting a little starter aquarium. But if you're wanting something a little bit more updated, this is probably for you. So this design here I've based off of a realistic design fish tank. I actually have a big fish tank myself in real life. I'll pop a picture in the video somewhere around here now. And this is kind of based off the design I have, but it's more modern. For this design to work, you will need to base it against a wall, otherwise it's going to just have water flowing out the back. The front row is just whatever kind of decorative block you want and also the glass panes. And then the back here, you'll need to put some type of block to stop it from flowing. So you may want a trapdoor. I've got iron doors for this one because I've gone for like a sleek white design. And then you just fill up the back there against the wall with water and put your little fishies in. This is another version of the modern one, but I've gone for a more wood-based design for this one. So I have my little staircases to kind of give it a look like the fish tank is floating, like it's just based on 1 little pedestal. Now this one here, I've used a lot of spruce trapdoors to close the top off and the sides. Just make sure you close them because you don't want your fish accidentally jumping out of the water on the side there. But my next design is a kitchen design. So this here is a design that I came up with that I really like. If you're wanting something a little bit different and a little bit more unusual for your house, this could be a really great way to feature a fish tank in your room without actually having to take up more space. A lot of time in Minecraft, if you do an island bench, they do take up a block, like about 2 blocks wide. So this would be a really good replacement with also having the added bonus of a fish tank. It's just 1 block of some glass blocks at the front, and then the back is a row of water which I have simply closed off by using iron trapdoors, which are activated underneath the floor there with just a redstone torch. This next design is also a furniture one, so this one is a dining table. All I've done is put 3 blocks wide of the glass panes, but the ones in the center I destroyed and then placed a row of water. It holds the fish in there really well, and I just made my dining table top by using 3 blocks wide of these spruce trapdoors. You can see my little fishy kind of swimming out of the water there, but it will be fine, it won't actually die, unless if they change how the water works in future updates. But a dining table is another cool furniture way to have a fish tank. This design here is a version of the previous 2 that I showed that were like a normal fish tank, but it is a taller one. Now the reason you may want a fish tank like this one here is because you can't actually place kelp or seagrass blocks unless if the water is 2 blocks high. So if you have the other fish tanks that are only 1 block, you can't place any kelp or seagrass. If you do want them, you need a 2 block high one. So something like this curved design I have come up with here would be a really good like little fish tank to do if you do want to be placing plants inside. My next aquarium fish tank design here is a little unconventional for keeping pets, but I have built a little seafood shop here, which I have a salmon in a cod and a fish tank in the wall. Now, if you've ever been to a restaurant that serves a lot of seafood, or even maybe a seafood shop or anything like that, normally they'll have these built-in tanks into the wall, which they'll have like lobsters that you can buy and they'll freshly cook for you, or fish. I've done the same thing here, so I've just placed some glass blocks, a glass pane in front, and then I have put slabs on top so it looks like you can reach your hand in and grab the fish. But if you just want to make even your shop seem a little bit more realistic, something like this fish tank would be really good. You could also though do the design in a market format like I have here. Maybe you've got a little market thing going on. I know a lot of the time at markets I like to do maybe vegetables, and I'll also sometimes do like cake stalls. But you can now also sell fish at market, which is done a lot of places overseas and even here in Australia. So all I've done here is made some little crates by using iron trapdoors. You could also use just any other kind of trapdoor that you like, maybe if you want a more box look. I've done this one because it looks like a esky, or maybe you would call overseas a cooler or a chili bin or an ice box. But yeah. This design here is a biome based one, so this is my way of having a fish tank kind of for a swamp biome. I think a really good way to utilize the swamp is actually just make the fish tank out of the swamp. So I've closed off the little river ports that I had here with some of the dark oak bark block, then just put some little fence posts for decoration, some little vines, a couple flowers and some lily pads, and that is my fish tank. Now if there were creatures that could get to the fish, I'm not fully sure yet if there are. You may just want to close it off by using some fence posts, or maybe even making like a little glass dome over the top. But I think that's a really cool natural way to have it. Whereas if you were in a dark forest or a forest biome, even a savanna biome, you could utilize a tree and make a really cool quirky fish tank. So I was trying to come up with some different designs that not everyone would do, and I thought, why not make a fish tank out of a tree? So all I did was I planted an oak sapling and it built into a big one, and then just widened the base and placed some glass blocks, and hey presto, we have a fish tank. Now if you have a snow biome, you would have known from my previous videos when I've done pet beds and stuff like that, I'll link it down below, that I really do like to do igloos and I think they're quite cool. So I made a little snow igloo here. Just a really simple round one. It's basically about like 4 blocks wide on either side, and then I just curved it by adding some slabs and made a little simple entry. Once I did that, I just replaced some of the side blocks with windows so you can peer in. I also put salmon specifically in this tank because if I think a cold climate, I would think that salmon would be the most appropriate fish to be putting in there, not a tropical fish that should be in a warm one. Now, if you have a jungle biome or you're wanting something a little bit more ruined look, even in like a Mesa biome would be really good, or Mesa Biome, however you say it. I built this little kind of like Easter Island inspired tiki head here kind of thing. I just made basically a really tall rectangle. I've got white glass for the teeth just to give it that appearance of teeth. I actually put pufferfish in this tank because I thought it might be quite cool to have a dangerous fish with an old ruin. I just thought it gave a really cool look. I've got some emerald blocks there for the eyes with some stone buttons inside, and I made some big quirky eyebrows by using a cobblestone slab. This design is really good for aquariums, especially if you plan to house dolphins in Minecraft. Now dolphins aren't actually out yet as I'm building these, so if it does come out that you need your area a little bit taller, just raise the glass a little bit higher and put the water a little bit lower. But this design I've kind of built so it could be an above ground thing or also a underground thing, or both. So this one here I've done both, so you could be sitting in the stands and watching the fish, or walking by and looking into the fish, or you could go underground and then look at all the fish underground. So you could have something like this design here mixed in with the first one I showed, which was the fish tank hallways. You could have big tanks like this where you can go above ground and look down into it as well. and then like go back underground through pathways and just have more hallways and stuff like that. So this is really good if you have a big aquarium build to be doing in Minecraft. I probably wouldn't put turtles in there just because turtles do need beaches, but dolphins or jelly like the squid or even fish would be really good. Now this design here is a roof fish tank. This is something that I will give credit to Mr. HeySofia for coming up with. I was talking about all the fish tanks and he's like, how about a roof one? And I thought that was actually a really cool idea. So I think it's really nice having this simple white palette for your build. I like to do, because it's like a blue color and it's kind of like a feature wall in the way, I decided to go simple with my walls. So I've gone for white walls, white flooring, like grays and stuff like that. You can see in here as well, I have a floor fish tank, but I've got white flooring, white walls, white roof. You want to go for neutral colors like grays, blacks and white to go with these designs, and it really makes the blue pop a lot more and it'll be a lot more effective. So roofs or floor fish tanks would be really good to do in Minecraft. Quite interesting, and I think it's just so nice to like be in a room full of fish. They're really quite calming, fish tanks, just looking at the fish doing their own little things, so it'd be quite nice to fall asleep with them. This is another out there design for aquarium. So this is if you have a pet shop, you could build a little fish tank wall. This is the kind of fish tank walls that I have come across with when I've gone to get fish for like my little aquarium that I have at home. Typically they've got little single holes in the wall where they have a few fish, or they might have a really big one every now and then as well. So I've kind of gone for a mix of the two to give you guys a good idea of what you could do in Minecraft. I also have here a little tank which you can look down into and see plants. Now like I said, normally you would just have the plants right there, but because they need 2 blocks higher for seagrass and kelp to grow, I have gone 2 blocks down for that one. But this is something I also see in fish tanks, so you could do even coral down there because people do sell coral for saltwater fish tanks as well. And again, kind of mixing with the first idea, this is another room divider, but this is not just like a hallway feature. This is a way where you could see through to 2 different rooms or 2 different hallways. Maybe you're building an aquarium, you might actually have a wall that's down at the other end we started from that completely splits it, so you might have to walk down this hallway and then there'll be a big cafeteria or a big open aquarium area, and then you'd walk down the hallway the other way, or maybe you have a bedroom on the other side over there, not just another hallway. Fish tanks can be a really good kind of like see-through wall divider as long as there's nothing really private. I probably wouldn't have a see-through fish tank that looks through to the toilet or the bathroom. Might be a little bit too public for people, but maybe you've got like a kitchen on one side and something on the other, it would be really good. Another really good design for an aquarium or even just in your home or a mansion type build is little poles here which you have fish tanks running through the middle. These you basically just want to make a plus and then put the glass on each corner. In the center you have your water and you put your little fish in there. A mix of those kind of pools, the hallway, the big aquarium one and the wall divider fish tank would be a really cool aquarium design. Mixing all of those together would be really good. Now this little design here is for turtles because I thought, well, I need to feature turtles here. Some people keep them as pets and you could keep them in aquariums if they were very small, but we have big turtles in Minecraft. So I've built a little pond here which I've just closed off with a fence. Now I've got lots of sand because turtles have a home beach and they always go back to that beach. They'll also lay eggs on the beach, so I've got lots of sand around my little mini beach that I made. I also built the water quite deep here because when they do come in, I'll see if I can get them to come in here. Come on. They seem to like following you. There you go. But you can see if you go down in there, like they'll swim quite deep. So I feel like to give the turtle a little bit of space to swim around with, make it a little bit deep. I also have a shelter here because I believe it was with the new mob that was, I think it's mob C, that was allowed into the Minecraft. I think they do actually hunt turtles and they'll come after eggs on the beach and other mobs will as well. So I've got a little protective cover there and a torch. So at least if something was to happen, they can kind of hide during the evening. My next design here is a natural fish pond, which is just something that you could do in any garden now, but make it seem a little bit more alive. I have sand on the base here, lots of little plants to kind of make it look like it's naturally overgrown. Now I put tropical fish in here, but if you want something that looks a little bit more appropriate like a river fish or a mud type basin fish, I would probably go for a cod. It's just a really nice color and it looks like something more naturally you would find in a river type environment, especially here in Australia, or from my experience with other types of fish. They tend to be browner in rivers, sometimes colorful, but mostly like a dollar color. Now this here is a Japanese garden. I just built a really simple one for this. And again, put fish in your Japanese garden. They have lots of koi, which are carp. Now you can't get koi or carp in Minecraft, so I did tropical fish because koi can be really quite colorful. One thing to mention though is I did actually have a little stream coming out of the rocks, but all the fish really like to swim up there and kill themselves off falling out of the water, so do not put a little stream going out of your pond with fish there. Now one of my last designs today is I built this little section here of a modern house, just nothing, there's just a little bit of wall. And I've built a little kind of like lake out the front of the house with pathways to go over. Maybe you have your house split into two and you want some water to divide halfway through. You could put some fish to make it look more like a pond and less like a swimming pool. You could do some lily pads or something like that in there. And I've just got my little fish. Again, I've gone for colorful tropical fish just because I think they look quite nice. But a little like divider between modern houses or any type of build and putting some fish in there would be a really cool addition to your home. This next design is for a desert biome, so I built a little miniature pyramid here. It's like 6 blocks long and 6 blocks wide. Now it looks really detailed, but all I've done is added slabs to make it look a bit more gradual. You can see it's just a normal pyramid with some blocks removed to put glass in their place. And then I just kind of place slabs on all the corners and then on top of like the glass and right at the center. And then on the inside, again, I've just got some little tropical fish in there, some coral, some seaweed, just some simple stuff like that. But I think this is a really cool design to have and something a little bit different. But my final design today is for a Mesa Biome. Again, this is a bit of a quirky one. But typically when I do Mesa builds, I like to do Western saloon style builds, which you could still do. I did it in my bird one, but I wanted to do something a bit more natural. So I built this mini clay hill, which I kind of put the blue glass box through to kind of look like an oar, like it was a bit of iron that's streaking through. And when you see through, you can see the fish in there. Now I also put in the bottom of my fish tank red sand because I think it's only appropriate to have red sand down there. You could also do the red sand though in other fish tanks, especially because you can actually put plants into it. I wasn't quite sure until I tried it out, but you can. So you could also use red sand as a different pebble color in other fish tanks that you build in Minecraft. But I think this is really cool. I just topped it off with some spruce fence posts and some cactuses. But there you go, you guys. There is how to build 25 different aquariums, fish tanks, and ponds in Minecraft. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, are you really looking forward to the 1.13 update? Or what kind of aquarium or fish tank or pond do you think you'll build in Minecraft? I think I'm going to build quite a few, including maybe that roof fish tank. But like always guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye!